Toby Maguire might have gotten bitten by the spider, but I have definitely not been bitten by a goat. Good evening, everyone. Hope you're doing well. Hopefully this thing won't crash. Well, not crash. Hopefully we won't have a terrifying moment like we did yesterday. I just did not bother to restart this thing because I don't know. Like, the internet's been going on and off like once or twice, sometimes thrice a day. I'm not quite sure why. It is quite annoying. It is quite annoying when it happens to you when you are playing a ranked game, but it is what it is. Hopefully it does not happen today, otherwise I think I'm gonna have to... record these articles instead. Just choose which article I want to talk about and then... Fuck. Okay, a little bit better. I got some articles and just talk about them and then cut this down and into videos instead, because I just cannot afford to not make content. I still have some extra content in the in the reserve. However, it is mostly science content and I feel like I don't want to put out too much science content at once. Like, I want to have some sort of distance between that so people don't get overfed. And I mean, yeah, like the Kamala video has finally died down and the other videos are getting a little bit of attention, so hopefully... Oh, well, after they were pretty much in the present, so I mean, hopefully it's going to keep continuing and we'll get some other banger videos. Well, the Kamala video wasn't exactly a banger. I mean, view-wise it was, like-wise not that much. Well, it got recommended to the bad people. I mean, that's on YouTube, like, that's not on me, but hey, it is what it is. Oh, I forgot to change the... So, obligatory reminder, YouTube channel, bots channel, 135 videos. That's quite a bit now. But 53 subscribers, I guess that's also fine. We have still, I believe, 6 days before the end of July. When the end of July hits, I'm gonna take a look on the channel and decide just how well I'll be doing, and I'm just gonna think for a bit and decide like if I want to keep doing this or if I'm gonna, if I'm just gonna cut this. Because I mean, like, while I'm having fun doing this, it's definitely not the most ideal. Because I mean, obviously you have to earn some money once in a while. And at the moment this stuff is not earning me much money. It's not earning me money at all. You probably have noticed. So yeah. But this besides the point. We'll see just how well it goes or how not well it goes. We have quite a bit of articles today to talk about, so hopefully we're gonna get some good ones, some good content. I'm gonna take a sip of water and we can head straight into the first article. I'm gonna let you have a peek. And I was muted for the whole time. Excellent. So, basically my entire intro is fucked. Great. Well, I'm not gonna repeat myself, so I'm gonna repeat myself, but on the another stream. On the next stream, that is. Jesus. I might as well just put up a big notification that my microphone is muted in the OBS here, so I do not forget. But luckily, I just wanted to take a sip of water. Otherwise, I could have been talking here for an hour before somebody would came and notify me, if that would even happen to begin with. So, let's head into the article, and we have 3, 6, 9, 12 news article and 4 political article, film political. This is my first time going to be trying this site, and I'm just gonna just add what sort of quality these articles are. So we'll see. And then maybe I'm gonna take a look on IGN at the end. We'll see just how long it takes us. So we got our first article. Syria's Bashar al-Assad makes surprise visit to meet Putin after report Russian leader could play peacemaker role. That is not really surprising. Assad and Putin has been friends for a long time. The Russians have supported the Bashar al-Assad regime pretty much since the start of the civil war. They helped him to remain in power, and they helped him to regain control of most of his country. Nowadays, it is just the Syrian or the Assad forces and only some little pockets of the ISIS and the other major power in the play are the Kurdish forces, which have to deal with the Turkish bombardment once a while. Because, Kurds do not have any sort of a independent state. They are a minority group in eastern Turkey as well. From what I heard, they are not treated the best. But hey, somebody would have to fact check me about that. The Syrian leader is the latest in a string of global strongmen to meet the Russian president, which will likely be a cause for concern among Western diplomats. Fuck. Vladimir Putin has met Bashar al-Assad in Moscow after a surprise visit from the Syrian president that was announced by the Kremlin on Thursday morning. Footage shared on Telegram by the Russian president's press service showed the two leaders smiling and shaking hands before sitting down and chatting throughout their respective interpreters. I'm very glad to see you. President Putin can be heard gushing to his guest. Referring to the Middle East, he adds, I'm very interested in your opinion on how the situation in the region as a whole is developing. Unfortunately, there is a tendency towards escalation. We can see that this is also applied directly to Syria. I would agree. I would agree with the proclamation that there is tendency towards escalation. And if it's directly applied to Syria, well, I mean, Syria is in the state of civil wars. I mean, you cannot very much escalate there. Russia has been Russia has been a key ally for President Assad during the Syrian civil war, helping him regain control over the country following an uprising that began in 2011. But why is he in Moscow now? President Assad said the visit marked the anniversary of the establishment of the diplomatic relations between Moscow and Damascus, but it feels like there's more to it. Maybe Putin is going to provide him some new weapons. That is possible. The Russians have been toying with the idea to provide weapons to the to the Arabic country to be used on, the Western vessels or on the Israel. And if Israel would actually to do anything, offensive towards Russia, well, I don't think Israel would exist anymore. That's what I'm gonna say. Earlier this week, there was a report in a Turkish newspaper that Moscow could act as a host and mediator for a meeting between President Assad and Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan in August. Turkey backs the Syrian leader's opponents in the Syrian war and still protects some rebels in northwest of the country. Oh yeah, there are some small pockets of the rebels there. By the way, this is very costly for Erdogan. I still don't understand why he is still there. I mean, I remember that this was very costly when the Turkey interfered, which is quite funny, a NATO member being the aggressor. Well, let's just say that did not look very good. And yeah, and of course, he wants to screw over the Kurdish Turks in northeastern Syria. Putin the peacemaker, nothing is confirmed, but it would be a coup for the Kremlin if the meeting happened. Considering all the events that are taking place in the world as a whole and in the Eurasian region today, our meeting seems very important to discuss all the details of the development of these events, to discuss possible prospects and scenarios, President Assad told the Russian leader. The Syrian leader is the latest in a string of global strongmen to meet the Russian president, which will likely be a cause for concern among Western diplomats. Yes, I mean, obviously, like this blockade, or these embargoes on Russian goods, yeah, like it's not working out. It's working out to an extent, but nowhere near the extent the EU, the US had envisioned. And considering some companies like Nestle are allegedly coming back into Russia, yeah, like pretty much the West is very closely itching towards to restoring the relationship with Russia, or at least the European Union. As for the USA, nobody knows what's going on in the USA. Before Mr. Assad, President Putin's most recent guests in the Kremlin were Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Hungary's Viktor Orban, who both visited earlier this month. Modi is the big one. India is an emerging region. Indian economy is experiencing quite a boom now, and some people predict India to even overtake China in the upcoming decades. If the Russians would be able to secure India on their side, or secure India to be neutral / sending, arms deliveries to Russia. Obviously, the current Indian arms are not exactly the best. However, hey, extra ammunition, you cannot go wrong with that. So yeah, obviously, like if India would take a low-key leaning towards Russia's side, then the NATO could be in big trouble, and could be is an operative word. They would be fucking fucked. Like they would be unironically fucked if India would take a hard stance with Russia. Well, GG, well played. I mean, NATO is gone. Period. Like the US would then try, to force Pakistan to help their bidding, and somehow I am very skeptical about Pakistan helping the United States doing anything, but I may be wrong. You never know. At the start of July, Russia's leader met President Erdogan on the sidelines of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization summit in Kazakhstan, as well as President Xi Jinping of China. Before that, he was in North Korea and Vietnam. Indeed, we have talked about his visit to the North Korea to shoot a new season of Top Gear. It was all over the internet, so you've already saw it before. No need to talk about it more, but yeah, obviously, Russia is now trying to make North Korea a little bit less isolationist nation. They are trying to bring them to their sphere of trading zone, which could really help North Korea to start thriving. Potentially, obviously. Only potentially, because North Korea is still North Korea and people there still starve out quite a bit sometimes. But yeah, I mean, this would be a big step for North Korea, especially in their nuclear program, obviously. Like, North Korean nuclear program could experience a boom, and that is something that, and such boom is very, very disturbing for South Korea, Japan, and the US. Yes, this is weird. Despite the West's effort to isolate Vladimir Putin, Russia's leader still appears to have plenty of friends. Obviously, this is not surprising at all. A lot of people does not like the United States and the NATO or the Western civilization, slash Europe. And can you really blame them? The Europe has colonized the African region. The Europeans had exploited the African region. The Europeans have committed a blasphemous, disgusting, atrocious, criminal, and disgusting yet again crimes against the African people. Can you blame the Africans for not liking the West, such as the NATO and the United States? You cannot. And the nations in the Arabian Peninsula, they also do not like the United States. Persia was the puppet state of the United Kingdom and United States. It was exploited for oil. Eventually, yeah, the Islamic Republic took over and oppressed people, started oppressing people. And this Islamic Republic of Iran does not like the West. Another nation, Syria, Iraq, probably even Saudi Arabia, the Arab countries in general do not like the West. They do not like the values the West stands for, especially the modern values. The modern values are very easy propaganda for the Islam to use. Because, I mean, Islam is in the most parts, still in the most parts in the Arabian Peninsula, quite conservative. So, yeah, this is a goldmine for the propagandists to use to portray the West as the degenerate West that they truly are. That's beside the point now. So yeah, like, the West failed to isolate Putin. It was never going to happen. Because the West are not the good guys. Neither is Vladimir Putin. Neither is the China. Neither is the president of Samoa. The reality is that in this world, in this day and age, there are no good guys. There are only demons and devils. All of us are demons, some of us are devils. who feast and cannibalize each other for the pettiest of reasons, for our mortal sins we are born with, or for the mortal sins we succumb to. There is nothing. There is no good guy. There are no good guys. There are only one evil race. And that isn't bad. That isn't bad. It is bad for the people who want the humanity to change to something more peaceful. However, personally, me, as somebody who understands how, or who realizes that, or realizes just the understands the severity of the crimes we have committed throughout our existence as a civilization. I understand that we have to be tough. No, we have to be evil if we are to survive in the universe. We cannot have a split personality. We have to embrace one personality, and it is quite obvious that only one personality can truly lead us to become an interstellar intergalactic species. We do not have to destroy or enslave the alien cultures. No. However, we have to be able to bring those cultures to cooperate with us, to have an understanding with us, to like us, maybe, to a certain degree. And that is what it is all about. When you like somebody, you will probably not murder him. If you hate somebody, and if you hate a race that had conquered your race, you will probably feel a lot of hatred. And you will probably try your best to overthrow the race that defeated your people, or maybe enslaved your people. I cannot see the future of humanity. I cannot see the steps we are going to take. Sorry, this was a bit of a off topic. Probably I'm gonna cut this out. Most likely, yes. Say this does not have anything to do with the video, but you'll be able to hear it here. Although it's not very much coherent, fast paced. I just have quiet moments, but I mean that's because I try to figure out what word is the best to use here. But yeah, that's my introvert mind. So okay, let's move to the next article. I'm gonna yes. We got a climate article once again. I've been having a lot of climate articles lately. I think I'm gonna make this the final article about climate for a while, because I know people would start noticing it that I'm publishing a lot of climate articles, and maybe I don't want to give them a wrong impression that I am, you know. I mean, I just don't give. Fuck. I don't want to give them a wrong impression. I'm gonna take a napkin. I need to sneeze. And I'm gonna take a sip of water as well. Okay. I hope you cannot. No, you should not be able to see that pop up on Steam. No. That's good. That's good. So we got a truly staggering. The world breaks hottest day record for a second day in a row. I was about to talk about this the day before. However, my internet died, so I was not able to. And and that turned out to be a good thing because yesterday or the day before, yesterday I wanted to talk about this. It was only the world breaks the hottest day record. Now it's back to back, so already this article has been made quite a bit more interesting than originally. You might remember from my other videos that I was complaining about the weather in my region a lot, so I'm pleased to tell you that those days, as they are talking about, even here was very nice weather, and I went for a good walks. I went for like 2.5 hour walks. Felt really good. The weather was beautiful. It was quite a bit hot, so I had to wear a cap so my forehead doesn't get burnt. Oh, besides that, I had a good time. I understand some other people probably did not have a great time. Although in my situation, I was just happy for a good weather for once, because the weather here was really not good. Sorry about that. So, the world's average surface air temperature reached 16.15 Celsius on Monday, inching past the new record that had just been set on Sunday of 17.09 Celsius degrees. Do I want to use this? Sure. I'm gonna use this Sky News. So, Monday was the hottest day on record following a record-breaking Sunday, according to the preliminary data from the European Union's monitoring agency. The world's average surface air temperature reached 17.15 degrees Celsius, which is somewhere around 63 degrees of Fahrenheit. Not sure why you would be using that. On Monday, inching past the new record that had just been set on Sunday of 17.09 Celsius degrees, a difference of 0.06 Celsius degrees. This might not sound like a lot. However, if we were to break this record once again, let's say with 17.5 degrees Celsius average air temperature, then it would definitely raise quite a bit of eyebrows. This kinda also raises eyebrows because hey, you broke the average surface air temperature back to back. Like, I don't think this happened often, or I don't believe that this had happened before. Maybe I'm wrong, but the preliminary data from the Copernicus Climate Change Service makes Monday the hottest day on record since 1940, which is, so we had broke a record from over 84 years ago. The record hot days comes in a period when millions of people around the world sweltered in heat waves in Japan, China, and the United States, and harshly hot southern Europe. Yes, I read about that several times. places like Greece, absolutely hot there. And of course, like then places like Arabia, Middle East, Northern Africa, any place with sort of a desert or even beach, like there must be hellishly hot there. Like there must be quite a bit of heat. Meanwhile, heat and humidity combine to an oppressive effect in the Gulf, and high temperatures fueled the forest fires blazing in Greece, Portugal, and North America. Copernicus director Carlo Buontempo said, "What is truly staggering is how large the difference is between temperature of the last 13 months and the previous temperature records. We are now in a truly uncharted territory, and as the climate keeps warming, we are bound to see new records being broken in future months and years. Probably next year, maybe in August. Possibly in August is the last month that we can break this record for the third time this year. And if that happens, well, then nobody can seriously say that climate destabilization does not exist. Because it clearly does. You may notice I call it climate destabilization because that is the more correct way of saying this. Like climate change, like, yeah, climate changes. Like, yeah, we knew that like for like 10,000 years. Yeah, in November it's cloudy. In summer it's sunny. I mean, yes, that's a climate change. Thank you very much. Yes, we kind of knew that before. However, climate destabilization, the term I use, is mainly the term I really like because it accurately represents what is happening in the world. The weather is getting more and more crazier. The temperatures are running wild. Everything is getting destabilized. And even the natural habitats are getting destabilized. Like, we have species that had migrated from certain areas to others because of because of higher temperatures. Like what was it? Some African mosquitoes had made it to the southern Europe because of the higher temperatures, something like that. Maybe I will be able to find an article about it. If yes, I'm gonna post it in the video. Anyway, okay, I'm just gonna keep it here for a second. So if you did not see it, the whole on the screen, so you can read it. And here we have the graph. I'm gonna open it in a new tab. So we got the data is from 1940 to 2024. I think these are, these are the average data. Oh no, this is the average. You can see we are quite a bit over the average. Like, as you can see here, the most of the time it seems that we have been below this average. However, yes, we are in quite of an uncharted territory here. Quite a bit, at least this time around, this year. The last year, you can see, even here, we were above average the entire year, so technically we were in the higher territories here, but in the beginning of year 2023, we were quite a bit, above average, but we were not, in uncharted territories like before. However, here it started to get messy, like we managed to get out of all of those data, and here we were severely in uncharted territories. This September, I also remember that in September, like it was very still, quite a bit warm, quite warm actually. I was, finally asking that, like, is the summer just going, is the summer going to get, going to be in like July, August, and September instead of June, July, August, because like the September was quite warm. And I did not really mind because that meant I could have made more works. Oh, well, I was mostly running actually at that time, however, I gained some weight, so I need to lose it, but that's beside the point. I still weighed less than Elon Musk, so it's okay. So, and I went on a bit of a rant again. Anyways, what I'm trying to say is that this year has been quite a bit more in the Uncharted territory, and if this is going to keep up, if this does not drop down into this territory, into the territory of above average, then, well, we might gonna see some... Yeah, might gonna see some funky things happening. We'll see. As they say, like, they do not know what is going to happen. However, this is not good. Like, this is not exactly good. So, hope before July 2023, the world record temperature was set on 16.8 Celsius degrees, set on August 2016. But since the 3rd July 2023, at least 57 days have smashed that previous August 2016 record, distributed between July and August 2023 and June and July 2024. June here wasn't that bad. I mean, and by wasn't that bad, I mean, it was quite horrible. The weather was horrible, and the temperatures weren't really that high here. Specifically here in my region. But yeah, the last year, July and August, indeed I can confirm it. When I was working then, it was very warm, and I also have to wear protective suits, which was not really pleasant when the whole area was, when the whole area was also getting warmed by the sun. It was not really pleasant stuff to work under such conditions. Luckily, I never collapsed. And nobody who worked there collapsed. However, it was definitely very stressful. Especially, I mean, we could put those suits away. However, we could never put those suits away during a morning shift, like from 6 a.m. to 14 p.m. And sometimes even between 2 p.m. and like 6 p.m. because the firm's leadership was there, and sometimes they would come to check, how the production is going, and we were not allowed to not have these protective suits. So yeah, what caused the new heat record bias the Earth getting hotter? The global average temperatures tend to peak during the northern hemisphere summer, between late June and early August. That is because the seasonal patterns of the northern hemisphere tend to drive over global temperatures, but the new records are part of an overall warming trend driven by humans burning fossil fuels. Dr. Joyce Kimutai, climate scientist at Imperial College London, said, "This is exactly what climate science told us would happen if the world continued burning coal, oil, and gas, and it will continue getting hotter until we stop burning fossil fuels and reach net zero emissions. That will likely not happen for about another many years." Fuck, I got a hair in my mouth. Christiana Figueres, head of UN Climate Negotiation 2010 to 2016, co-founder of Climate Optimism, said the group of 20 major economies must address the new dangerous reality with policies to accelerate the deployment of renewables and prudent phase-outs of fossil fuels. You know what would help reducing those fossil fuel emissions? You know, that run away green gas? Nuclear technology. And which country does not... Oh, sorry, which country decided to destroy the entire nuclear energy economy? And the country which completely dismantled all of the nuclear reactors, made building the nuclear reactors much more expensive. Therefore, the countries are much less, enthusiastic. Yes, by the countries are much less enthusiastic to actually build those nuclear reactors. Yes, Germany. So, if you are angry about the climate destabilization, you can freely say, "Fuck you, Germany," because Germany did it once again and screwed over the entire planet. The Germans simply have talents on screwing over people. So also you might say that there will not be enough qualified people. Others, I dare say opposite. I dare say there would be enough qualified people, and you only need qualified people like in the running stage of the nuclear energy, and besides that, like that can be taught. Like it can be taught how to operate a nuclear power plant. Like you do not have to be afraid of that. Like it only happened in Chernobyl, which was the Soviet Union. Yes, Soviet Union. They did not have the most competent people. Well, the West does not either. However, the West is usually more cautious with this stuff. I hope. Most likely not, but hey, that's the problem of humans. They are not cautious enough. However, unlike last year, which saw climate change combined with the warming El Nino climate pattern to usher a new daily record, that is not the case this year as the El Nino has waned. Carsten Holstein, climate scientist at Leipzig University in Germany, called it remarkable that the record had been breached even though the world was no longer feeling the impact of El Nino. Another sign of the broader trend is the fact that the top 10 years with the highest daily average temperatures are the past 10 years from 2015 to 2024. Also, like, we have to get rid of the fossil fuels. Not only because it emits CO2 and runaway gases, but also because they are not infinite. Do you understand? They are not, these energy sources are not infinite. They are finite. You may argue that the nuclear energy is also finite. Well, even if we were to build a bunch of these nuclear energy power plants, it will last us for decades, if not hundreds of years. And by then, we should be able to use fusion energy. And nuclear energy, which is the reason why I like to talk about nuclear energy so much, is green. Much more greener than any fossil fuel. And it produces a shitload of energy. Like, how can you not buy it? That's my question. You buy nuclear energy now, and then in several decades, you're gonna get fusion energy, which is going to realistically last you forever until you create a Dyson sphere. There you go. So yeah, nuclear energy is very good. Very good for the environment. It is much better than any coal or oil plant to produce energy. And if we were to actually invest more into the nuclear energy, which countries like China, by the way, China invests also in the nuclear energy, as well as countries like UAE, and probably countries like Saudi Arabia will also invest into nuclear energy. Very interesting, don't you think? So yeah, don't be afraid of nuclear energy. Press your governments to get nuclear power plants. Like, do not let your governments to get rid of nuclear power plants. Do not let your governments to impose any sort of sanctions or restrictions on the nuclear energy. Because we need that nuclear energy to produce a lot of energy, a cheap energy, and reliable energy for the upcoming decades before we are able to produce the fusion energy. There you go. So yeah, this was everything I wanted to talk about, and we can head to the next article. I am tempted to not talk about this because we're gonna have a... Well, you can read it from the title, the Unabomber type of article. However, I'm gonna talk about it. Well, not talk about it, we're gonna read it, and if I'm gonna have anything to say about it, which I think I won't, then maybe it's going to be the... But I don't think so. But there might be some incidents I may be able to comment. We got car bomb attack investigated in Moscow. Amid conflict in reports, military officer was targeted. Not surprising. Initial reports in state media named one victim as a GRU military intelligence officer. Hours later, he was said to be perfectly well. This is not the first instance that an explosive was used to attempt an assassination or was a successful assassination of a individual. Russian authorities are investigating a suspected car bomb attack in Moscow that left 2 people injured following conflicting reports. A military official was targeted. Footage of the blast posted on Telegram appears to show a man and a woman getting into a vehicle before it suddenly explodes. Initial reports in state media outlets named 2 victims as Andrei Torgashov, a GRU military intelligence officer, and his wife. Citing anonymous law enforcement sources, the Kommersant newspaper reported Torgashov had both feet blown off and was in critical condition in hospital. Wait, what? So, critical... Oh, conflicting, yeah, sorry. I did not read with understanding, so... 2 people injured. Great. Oh, yes, here. Hours later, he was said to be perfectly well. Well, I don't think he's perfectly well with, with 2x minus, but... Ouch. Hours later, reports emerged purporting Torgashov was perfectly well. Wow, wait, which car exploded? Because I think it was this because of the open doors. Well, the bomb that has been used was... either the assassinator did not understand what he was doing, which is very likely because this seemed like a very amateur job. And that is good for the persons that were inside, because if this was anybody who had a little bit of understanding what he was doing, what he or she was doing, then these 2 guys would be dead. Like, this seemed to have been an explosive, and that was about it. Like, the car is quite resilient. You may not realize it, but cars are quite resilient, especially these types of cars which are bigger. Those types of cars can definitely save your neck. So obviously, if you were to actually, well, this is not a assassination advice, so please do not try this at home or any other people. However, if you want to assassinate somebody in those big cars, you probably should think of a way to set this car on fire when the device explodes as well. That would probably guarantee it. Once again, this is not a advice on how to do assassinations, so please do not try this at home or do not try this on anyone. Thank you very much. This is just a pure opinion / research for research purposes. Yes, this is for research purposes. The Kremlin-funded broadcaster Russia Today RT aired what it claimed was a telephone interview with the satellite commander who said he first heard about the explosion when he was at the war. He was also reported as saying the car involved in the blast was not his and that he lived elsewhere in the town. Contradicting to the earlier article, Kommersant then reported the victim was the officer's namesake, apparently suggesting this may have been a case of mistaken identity. Okay, so the assassinator maybe had mistook the officers and assassinated the wrong one, or attempted to assassinate the wrong one. Well, that's very unlucky for those two, for that couple. Accounts from residents at the scene added to the confusion. My friend knew the victim. They are from the same apartment block as Andrei, this officer. A woman called Irina told Sky News, adding she was blown out of bed by the force of the explosion shockwave. Once again, those big vehicles are quite resilient and they can save you from explosion. So even though you may heard a lot of people crying about SUVs and those big vehicles can save your life. And they can screw somebody's life if you are an asshole who cannot drive and then rams it into a, smaller car. I mean, it's a double-edged sword. However, what I say is true, they can save your life if somebody decides to blow you up. Another resident named Natalia said she found the incident scary but unsurprising as many military live in the area. I see. Russia's Interior Ministry confirmed 2 people were hurt in the explosion, which it said was caused by the detonation of an unidentified device. Following the launch of a criminal investigation, the head of the FSB Security Service Alexander Bortnikov told the Shot Telegram channel that the suspect had fled to Turkey and efforts were underway to extradite them. Later on Wednesday, the Turkey's Interior Minister Aliyer Kaliya posted on Twitter the suspect, a Russian national, had been arrested in Bodrum after arriving by plane. And you can see just that whoever did this was probably subverted or was, he was convinced into doing this action, because you cannot be such an idiot to travel into Turkey after committing an assassination attempt on a Russian military officer. You cannot be serious. Of course you're gonna get arrested in Turkey. What are you thinking? Well, he was not thinking. He was not thinking when he did that. He was probably subverted by a psyop or basically Ukrainian operatives on the internet, which the Ukraine had done with success sometime earlier, when they even managed to convince people to commit a arson on some ammunition storages in Russia, from what I heard. If is going to become a video. I'm gonna add, some context images. It is the latest in a series of car explosions that have hit Russia since Moscow invaded Ukraine more than 2 years ago. The daughter of ultranationalist Putin ally Alexander Dugin was killed in a bomb attack in August 2022. In May 2023, pro-war blogger Zakhar Prilepin was seriously injured in an attack Russia's foreign minister blamed on Ukraine. I'm surprised there's not the mention of the guy that was blown in St. Petersburg, the Russian blogger. Maybe it is this guy. I'm not quite sure. There was a woman who attempted to assassinate a Russian blogger in St. Petersburg, and she did it by putting a bomb into his bust, which then exploded. However, I'm not sure if he died or not. That I'm unfortunately not sure. Kiev has denied any involvement in the latest explosion, with presidential advisor Mikhailo Podolyak telling an independent Russian media outlet that Ukraine had nothing to do with this. Obviously, you would say this. When it comes to assassination attempts on the officers, especially during a wartime, it is most likely going to be from the enemy party. Especially in the information era, it is much easier to scam people into thinking that they will, I have no idea what can they be thinking when they are on, ammunition storage of your armies, but I don't know. Maybe somebody told them that the INSOC had risen, the 1984 is upon us, so they have to burn this ammunition storage, so the world does not become communist or socialist or English socialism or whatever. Anyways, let's head to the next article. This was a relatively short article. Relatively, yes. I'm gonna take a sip of water. And I think I'm gonna go for a VC. I'm gonna go for a toilet. So I'm gonna put out the be right back screen, and I'm probably gonna be on the toilet for like 20 or 30 minutes. So yeah, it's gonna take a while. But yeah, we're gonna be talking about some stock action. I know nobody's interested in it. However, I move a little bit on the stock market, so this is interesting for me. So I'll be right back. And by be right back, I mean in like 30 minutes, so stay tuned. Okay, we are back. My Twitch on phone seems to be pretty, pretty broken. So the app I was using, which allowed me to see the emotes, stopped working, so error 3000, I'm not sure what it is, and I'm too lazy to Google it right now. The other thing is that therefore I switched to the Twitch app. And whilst I can see chat here, I cannot see the screen. So I cannot see what's happening on the screen, which annoys me a little bit. A little bit. It's all kind of buggy. Not quite sure why. Oh my god, it's broken. Like what the fuck? Bro, the witch had pretty much single-handedly almost fucking gave me a blue screen on the phone. Like, what the hell? Bro, my phone is now black. Okay, cool switch. My phone is still black. Now I cannot see anything on my phone. Thank you very much. Okay, so I might not be able to... I'm just gonna then do this. I'm gonna do this. Set title. Can't see chat. 100, switch. Like that. Can't. Oh, sorry. Yes, you can see it many times over, but that we don't mind that. You can see chat, Android, Twitch. Give me. It's broken. It's broken. Thank you. Well, with that out of my way, like it unironically broke the phone. Like, what the fuck? I might gonna have to restart the phone if it... Like, I'm not seeing this. Like, I mean, I kinda have been seeing this, so I guess. I think I'm gonna have to update my OS. That's where... Yeah, like, this is so broken. Like, this seems like I have fucking processor usage on like 100% or so. I seriously need these. I mean, I do not need a second computer or a second monitor just yet. I would only need it if this thing actually blew out, but this is kind of annoying me. Like, yo, like, this had almost fucking killed my phone. This almost killed my fucking phone. Like, I'm quite mad now. I'm literally mad now. So we're gonna be here for a minute. I'm not going to be cutting this out obviously because I do some talking here. Although I would prefer if it was under a little bit more better condition, because like this is fucking like if fucking Twitch app kills my phone, like I will fucking lose it. I will lose it. Okay, it did not. And I am able to... Good. Like, I would be so fucking mad if Twitch app did kill my phone. Like, let's see, so software update. Yeah, update software shit. Like, I have not been updating that much. Everything is updated. So, like, what the fuck? Like, what the unironical fuck was that then? Okay, thank you, thank you. Okay, I'm gonna try running the app once more, and if it does not work, well, then we're gonna continue. And it seems to work now, so saved. I can then do this. There we go. There we got them go. We still have 3, 6, 9 articles, 4 political articles. I don't think I'll be able to make this. I don't think I'll be able to finish before 10 p.m. But hey, it is what it is. I'm gonna have to lower my voice afterwards to not, to not interrupt or annoy other people living in my vicinity. We got Kering warns on profits after Gucci sells for almost 20%. And yes, I've clicked on this only because it had Gucci in the title. No, I'm lying. I clicked on this because minus 20%. Second quarter performance highlights target to turn around Paris-based luxury company. Well, most people nowadays do not have much savings. Fuck. Hiccups. Fuck. 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 Okay. As I was saying, a lot of people no longer have that many savings. You could see this when you go into the US debt clock. On average, like people's savings had been severely reduced in the recent years. People have been saving quite a bit before, however, now they have been spending this. They probably also see the economy is not doing good, so they are doing their best to, fix their houses, fix their property, anything that has value to they will fix it, so if anything actually happens, so they can sell it for a high price and maybe get something a little bit more humble, and then, buy another house and renovate it. Anyways, Kering, owner of Gucci and Saint Laurent, warned on Wednesday, July 24th, that its operating income could fall by as much as 30% in the second half of the year, compounding the woes at the French luxury company. One of the biggest names in luxury, Kering was a rugged compared to peers of LVMH, that is Louis Vuitton, and Hermes. During the pandemic era boom, and its performance has only worsened as the industry as a whole has slowed. Kering set sales at Gucci, its biggest brand, accounting for half of revenues and 2/3 of profits, have fallen further, with a turnaround under a new designer having so far failed to gain traction. I've never seen any like Gucci products, and I'm not interested to see them. Second quarter sales at top brand Gucci fell by 19% on a like-for-like. Sorry, I yawned. On a like-for-like basis compared to 1 year earlier, concluding a continuing market decrease in Asia Pacific, Kering said. Group sales in the 3 months to June 30th dropped by 11% to 4.5 billion euros and fell short of analysts' expectation. Operating income dropped by 42% in the first half of the year to 1.58 billion euros, in line with expectations compiled by Reuters after the company guided sharply lower at its last results. A recurring operating margin of 17.5% in the first half was significantly lower during the same period last year, which the company attributed to negative operational leverage. In a challenging market environment which adds pressure to our top line and profitability, we are working assiduously to create the conditions for a return to growth, while the current context might impact the pace of our execution. Our determination and confidence are stronger than ever. Yeah, yada yada yada, said caring Chief Executive Francois Henry Pinot. Caring said it is continuing to prioritize long-term investments in its brand despite strained demand. Gucci is still rolling out product lines from its new designers Sabato de Sarno, which the group said were being well received by the customers. Oh, cat. Hello, Kato. Kato went away. Bright spots were... Oh, but it is not the only brand that is struggling. At Saint Laurent, carrying second largest label sales 9% on a like-for-like basis in the second quarter, accelerating a trend from earlier in the year. Bright spots were Bottega Veneta, where sales rose by 4% in the second quarter, and the company eyewear division, where they increased by 5%. Kering shares have fallen by more than 23% so far this year, to trade at 300 each, giving it a market capitalization of around 36.6 billion euros. This is a far sharper sorrow than industry bellwether LVMH after Kering shocked investors in April with a sharply lower profit outlook for the first half of the year. Controlled by the Pinot family, Kering had already issued a rare profit warning for the luxury industry in March amid falling sales, especially in the crucial Chinese market. Chinese economy is not doing too well at the moment. Smaller luxury companies like Hugo Boss and Burberry also in turnaround have recently warned on profits. China is allegedly also printing money as we speak. Or is printing more money than usual. That's probably better. To combat the slow economic recovery. More bad news and downgrades, said Lucas Soka, analyst at Bernstein. Kering guidance for the first half of the year is de facto materializing. And that is it. Nothing more to it. Just wanted to read this, but it was a disappointment. Nothing else to add. Really, nothing really interesting this time around. I was hoping to hear a little bit more about the global mood here, but no, nothing here. Very blunt article. So we're gonna head to the next article. I'm gonna take a sip of water. We're gonna be talking about dinosaurs once again. So, we got a dinosaur article. We've talked about the new Lokisaur dinosaur some time ago, and now we are going to be talking about the Tyrannosaurus Rex. Probably the most famous dinosaur of all time. Only being seconded by other dinosaurs like raptors or the Brontosaurus. So, Tyrannosaurus Rex could have been even bigger than previously thought, studies suggest. According to new research, the biggest Tyrannosaurus Rex could have been 70% heavier and 25% longer than previously thought. We got his skeleton. I'm gonna take this. Tyrannosaurus rex could have been even bigger than previously thought, new research suggests. Scientists now believe the dinosaurs could have been 17% heavier and 25% longer. Yes, we read that in the title. Thank you very much, Sky News. The largest of the species may have weighed roughly 15 tons instead 8.8 and measured 15 meters instead of 12. So he was almost 165% heavier. No, he was heavier than that. 170. He was roughly 173% heavier than previously thought. And yes, that's about. That's not 15%. 15 meters is not plus 15% of 12. 10% is 1.2, 20% is 2.4. So the new dinosaur was 25% longer. Okay, I just read without understanding. That's nothing new, especially if you were my teacher. On my mother language, you probably already knew that much longer before that I do not read with understanding. Dr. Jordan Malone of the Canadian Museum of Nature in Ottawa said scientists really have no idea from the fossil records about the absolute sizes they might have reached. It's fun to think that a 15-ton T-Rex, but the implications are also interesting from a biomechanical or ecological perspective, he added. Well, there are probably some factors that influence the weight and the height slash length of the dinosaur of T-Rex. One would be the environment. Probably he could have gained a bigger length and weights in a, I'm not sure if colder environment. It would kind of make sense because in a hot environment, when you are big, like if you are on a desert or in a area that does not have many trees, if you are subjected to the direct sun, sun flares, then you probably don't want to be too big. I mean, you have creatures like crocodiles, alligators, or giant snakes that like being on the sun. However, I think that has also a limit. Then you have other snakes like anacondas, which probably do not really appear that much on the sun, and they just usually travel the waters. Anyways, to the point I was making. Probably I would imagine then in places like jungles or a little bit colder places, the T-Rex could have reached a much larger sizes than in a more hot-like environment. Especially because in the hot environment, I would assume there would not be that many herbivores, that many giant herbivores, and therefore the T-Rexes there would need a lot of meal to sustain their weight. So I think this would be more of a just adjustment kind of thingy. In the dinosaurs, that they would adjust their length, their weights according to the environment and the potential prey that lived in that environment as well. The study conducted by Dr. Malone and Dr. David Horn of Queen Mary University of London used computer modeling to assess a population of T-Rex based on living alligators which were chosen for their large size and close kinship with the dinosaurs. Taking into consideration factors such as population size, growth rate, lifespan, and the incompleteness of fossil records, researchers said their findings suggest there must have been larger dinosaurs out there that have not yet been found. Once again, Lokisaurus is a prime example. There are still many dinosaur species we have never found, and there are dinosaur species that we will never found, unfortunately. That is the sad reality. We are able to make an observances. We are able to observe. We are able to deduce a lot of information from the observations we make of stones from different areas. We are able to make a lot of deduction just from digging giant holes and searching them for any sort of skeletons. However, in the reality, we have not lived there, and therefore we will probably never find a lot of secrets that were in Cretaceous era and the Jurassic era and so on. They said the largest known T-Rex fossils probably fall in the 99th percentile, representing the top 1% of body size, but bigger could still be found. Dr. Holness said some isolated bones and pierces certainly hint at still larger individuals than for which we currently have skeletons. However, to find an animal in the top 99.99% of body size, researchers think would have to excavate fossils at the current rate for another 1,000 years, indeed. It takes a while to excavate such fossils, and it also takes a long while to find the fossils you are looking for. And some fossils have already been, turned into something else, something other. The findings were published in the Journal of Ecology and Evolution, so there you go. The Tyrannosaurus Rex the T-Rex was probably much larger and much thicker than we had expected. Or the absolute, top 1% of the T-Rexes was definitely much sizer than we had anticipated. As I said, with my theory, I think it was mostly because of an environment, and I think that their size would depend of the prey that lived in their current environment, and probably they would be some bits more if they lived in more like desert-like areas. I'm not quite sure how it looked back in there, obviously. I don't remember exactly where they were before, but however, hey. Even Earth back then was a very big place, and yeah, even those T-Rexes probably passed by the deserts, or some of them probably lived near desert sometime. I don't know. I would have to read about them, but I don't really have time for this. I don't have time for many things, unfortunately. So yeah, we can head to the next article. We have one about Netanyahu. So Netanyahu was in Washington DC, he was in the Congress, and they gave him a lot of ovation. Also allow me to, I'm gonna actually search it. Netanyahu. Okay, let's see. Okay, we submit that the crimes against humanity charged were part of a widespread and systematic attack against civilian populace of Israel by Hamas. So, there we go. And other armed groups pursuant to organization policy, some of these crimes in our assessment continue to this day. My office submits their reasonable grounds to believe that Sinvar, Dave, Hanya are criminally responsible. So they are saying this, that these people, those leaders of Hamas, are responsible. And other groups, obviously, as I said, it would be most ideal if they would take all of the officers as well, basically the high command. However, the violent arrest warrant on Palestine, on the Hamas, is not what we are here for. We are here for something else. Yes, so yeah, they are saying that these people, Yahya Sinwar, this guy and this other guy, responsible, and they are charging them. So there you go. I mean, the leaders of Hamas are by the ICC. They are charged as war criminals and they should face justice. However, this is not what we are here for. We are here for something a little bit different. And yes, they reiterate the call for immediate release of all hostages taken from Israel. Much better resolution than what USA or somebody proposed, that they would start releasing them in some phases. No, just release them at once. There you go. I mean, in this sense, ICC is much more logical than some politicians, which is not really surprising. And now we go. Yes, on the basis of evidence collected and examined by my office, I have reasonable grounds to believe that Benjamin Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel, and Yoav Gallant, the Minister of Defense of Israel, bear criminal responsibility for the following war crimes and crimes against humanity committed on the territory of the state of the Palestine, of Palestine. Fuck. In the Gaza Strip, from October 7, 2023. Starvation of civilians, willfully causing great suffering or serious injury to body and health contrary to the articles, cruel treatment, willfully killing contrary to Article 8, murder as a war crime contrary, yes, intentionally directing attacks against civilian population. A lot of civilians died there, and a lot of children died there as well. Extermination, murder, persecution as a crime against humanity, other inhuman acts as crimes against humanity, submits that the war crimes were committed. Indeed, we have corrected. Yes, these crimes continue to this day. My office submits that these acts were committed as part of common plan to use starvation as a method of war, collectively punish the civilian population of Gaza, who are the real victims here. And there we go. Israel, like all states, has a right to take action to defend its population. That right, however, does not absolve Israel or any state of its obligation to comply with international humanitarian law, notwithstanding with any military goals they may have. The means Israel chose to achieve them in Gaza, namely intentionally causing death, starvation, great suffering, and serious injury to body or health, or the civilian populations, are criminal. In presenting these applications for arrest warrant, my often, yes. Uh-huh. I'm just gonna search his name, Neta. So he's a Yes. Today, my office seeks to charge two of the most responsible, Netanyahu and Gallant, both as co-perpetrators and as superiors pursuant to Articles 25 and 28 of the Rome Statute. The international law the international law does not absolve anyone. Indeed, they have the full right to defend themselves. They had the full right to hand out the proper justice to the Hamas. However, what they did here, I'm gonna go to the live map UA as well. Live UA map. Oh my god, this is in. There we go. Much more like it, thank you. Let's see if we. So, this small strip here is Gaza. So, this territory is appeared to be controlled by the Israeli army, while there are incursions into these parts. Realistically, everything here is controlled by the Israeli army at this point. Hi, hello, hope you're doing well, my Lithuanian watcher. Everything here is controlled by the Israel at this point, and it has been in control of the Israeli army for months. And if anyone dares to tell you that it takes time, yes, it takes time to clear out those tunnels. However, think, Israel defeated Arab coalition in 7 days. Do you seriously think it would take almost a year at this point for Israel to clear out a bunch of fucking terrorists? No, it would not. This, what is happening in Gaza, is either an act of utter incompetence or a deliberate act of a villainous nature. And I tend to lean towards the latter, rather. The Israel had the full right to exercise justice upon the Hamas and its members. However, it did not have any right to starve and to cause deaths of thousands upon thousands of civilians in this region. The international law applies to all. You're not exempt from the international law, even if such atrocities were committed against you. Such punishment should be owners up to those forest directly responsible. These people had never ever did anything to Israel. They've been used as meat shields by Hamas for their records, for their bases. These people are hostages. These people are the real victims here, because nobody cared to depose Hamas. Nobody cared to depose Hamas, and this is the result. Can I have a question? Why is Netanyahu called a baby? Well, that's a good question, and I'm gonna find it for you. Why is Netanyahu called Bibi? Oh, this is the first. Oh, Bibi was his childhood name. People like to nickname politicians. I see. Bibi stands for grandma. Okay, that's probably not correct. Okay, so I think it was his nickname. Maybe in the military, maybe it is his nickname his whole life, but yeah, like this is just his nickname, I guess. Like it seems there's nothing more to it. But I'm gonna take on. Yeah. Thank God you cannot see the pop-ups here, because it once again was showing my email address, my, real life email address. Like, I hate it when these sites just show up your email address here. Like, pisses me so much. Thankful the stream cannot see it. Otherwise I would be really angry. Oh, here. Oh, they actually are talking about it. Why is it used now? I think it's tourism. I see. So this is a theory that this makes him look more like down to earth and closer to the people. I'm not sure how that works. However, humans, I guess. But it does not seem to have any like vulgar or any other sense. It's just a nickname used by various people, I guess. So yeah, I mean, this nickname seems to have no meaning. Surprisingly, now we're gonna watch his speech here. After that, I'm gonna talk a little bit about what I think. Safe to say, I have some words to say about this. Oh, okay. It seems like my media player stopped playing music some time ago. I did not even notice it. Oh, anyways. It's kind of funny. I mean, yeah, I guess so. I mean, it has different meaning from different people, I guess. So let's watch it now.
I want to thank President Biden for his tireless efforts on behalf of the hostages and for his efforts to the hostage families as well. I thank President Biden for his heartfelt support for Israel after the savage attack on October 7th. He rightly called Hamas sheer evil. He dispatched 2 aircraft carriers to the Middle East to deter a wider war. And he came to Israel to stand with us during our darkest hour, a visit that will never be forgotten. President Biden and I have known each other for over 40 years. I want to thank him for half a century of friendship to Israel and for being, as he says, a proud Zionist. Actually, he says a proud Irish-American Zionist.
I wanna an ironic vomit. So, allow me to remind you that Vladimir Putin, the Russian president, has also an arrest warrant issued by the ICC, the International Court. And then you have this guy just speaking in the United States Congress. United States abide by the ICC. They abide by the ICC ruling. However, in this specific case, they made a convenient exception. President of Ukraine. Well, he talked about you, so. I mean, this is a good. Okay, but anyways, let's be serious about this, because this is quite a serious topic, unfortunately. So yeah, United States very conveniently decided to ignore the ICC statement, the ICC arrest warrant. And allow me to remind you that this was that this same arrest warrant was issued on the leaders of Hamas, on the three leaders of Hamas, and the arrest warrant was issued on two Israeli politicians, on Netanyahu and his Minister of Defense specifically. There is no anti-Semitism bias here. What I see here, and I was also quite emotional when I first heard about it and was not thinking quite logically. However, what I see here are clear facts, cold and clear facts as you would expect from the international court. Netanyahu should have been arrested and handed over to the international court. Yet the United States have reminded us that they are not a democracy. No, they are a very, very twisted republic. They do not abide by the popular vote. You should have already knew that now, considering you probably heard that the United States used the electoral college to elect their presidents. And the United States have on many occasions proven that they would ignore allies or any logical stances just to support their own biases. This here is, in my opinion, a completely logical document handing out arrest warrants on 5 people. Allow me to remind you that 2 arrest warrants were handed out for Vladimir Putin and I believe Maria Zakharova, the something of Russian Federation. The US recognizes the authority of the International Court when it suits them. United States recognize and they would arrest Vladimir Putin if he would step on the United States soil. Funnily enough, they have not done so in Netanyahu case. And now allow me to come back to what he just said, that Biden called himself a proud Zionist. I want to vomit. Zionism and Judaism is not the same. Zionism is the right-wing, ultra-Orthodox type of Judaism. That type of Judaism, which hosts people who openly supports the Gazan war. However, they refuse to take part in such wars. Indeed, you heard correctly. The ultra-Orthodox Jews, the Zionists, had draft exemptions. They weren't even fighting in Gaza. It were their Jewish fellows that were dying there, that were fighting there, that were committing those horrendous acts. So the people that are supporting and that they demand this war keeps on going, they are sitting safely home behind their TVs and do check shit. Not anymore. The Supreme Court of Israel had called for them to be finally drafted, and this might collapse the Netanyahu's government, hopefully. I hope that Netanyahu and the ultra-right are voted off and they will never ever come back, because what they did in Gaza is unforgivable. They had the full right to retaliate, to destroy Hamas. However, they did not have the right to starve out people and to cause almost, or if not more than 30 or 40,000 civilian casualties. That is unforgivable. Nothing new, they threatened the court to invade them if they ever arrest an American citizen for war crimes, I believe. Somehow I trust you. Like I would not be even surprised. That is the USA in a nutshell. They will only abide something when it profits them, when it suits them. However, when somebody dares to object their agenda, they will just throw them under the bus or invade them if they have oil. That's also why the USA have not invaded Gaza, because there's no oil. There's no article to this, unfortunately, but I really wanted to talk about this because also I heard from the Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez. I'm not sure how reliable she is a sort of an information, because I mean, hey, I don't really know Ocasio-Cortez. I only know she exists. However, she was talking about that some people that were in that room were not congressmen and congresswomen and not senators and senatwomen. Basically, there were paid actors there to fill out the gaps in the Congress and the Senate and were simply clapping for this fool. So basically, the United States also pretty much bought paid actors to make it seem like that everyone in the Congress supports this guy. In reality, I mean, you could see the people were protesting and they were very quite a bit angry about this. Some people even burned flags. I heard that it was some sort of it was a false flag attack. I'm not sure. I'm not gonna judge. I'm not gonna say anything about this because I mean, I am against burning flags, so. However, I do understand that they are ill-willed actors, so I'm gonna say that burning flags is bad. And however, I do definitely understand the rage those people feel that the US is supporting this criminal. This person should have been arrested. And yet he's been treated like a fucking god. Unbelievable. And some people actually said that at this day and age, even Adolf would get a standing ovation in the US Congress. And honestly, if the Germans were not to declare war on the United States of America, were they to beat the British, I think that he could theoretically get a standing ovation, honestly. If Adolf were not to declare war on the United States, if the United States would stay, in the isolationist policy, then honestly, I could see Adolf, one day traveling to the USA and just make one of his, fiery speeches there and getting a standing ovation. I honestly would not be surprised at all. Because, I mean, people do not realize just how much isolationist the USA was in the 20th century. Like they really did not want to fight in a major war. However, they were more than happy to change leadership in certain countries that were formerly Spanish colonies. They were more than happy to do that, huh? Cuba and Philippines. Adolf won an award in America. I think I read about that. I think I actually read about that. However, I cannot remember which it was. Like, Adolf was a very popular politician back then. Like, before the war, he was very popular. I mean, he even hosted the Olympics in 1936. Like, back then, like, he was a superstar. I'm gonna take a sip of water. Yeah, Time magazine named Adolf the Man of the Year. Yes, that. Oh, yeah, that is true. That is true, I believe. Yeah, that is true. I mean, that was a well deserved, honestly. People did not know about the Holocaust and other stuff like that. However, people saw that he was able to rebuild Germany. Germany was a giant mess after World War I, an even bigger mess after the Great Depression. Yet he managed to come in, and somehow he managed to take Germany to become a world power yet again. Yes, I know Memo. Yes, he took Memo off you. Before the war, I believe. And then he occupied your base in World War II. I'm gonna take a sip of water now. So yeah, this was not a article, this was a discussion about Netanyahu. As I said, my stance on him is very firm and has been firm on him for a while now. Like, he is a criminal and he should be persecuted alongside the leadership of Hamas as well as the top officers of Hamas. And every single one of them should get the punishment they deserve. And I'm not gonna specify the punishment because we are PG friendly. So they would get a very pretty trip in Minecraft, and I'm not gonna specify any details. Even before he took Memo, we hated him, I see. Did he make any, like, mentions, like, I don't know, calling Lithuanian people, I don't know, inferior people or anything like that? Or was it something else? I'm just gonna ask whilst I'm gonna head for the next article. This is a bizarre article, however, I think I wanna read this. So we got a bizarre article. Fish mysteriously drops from sky and crashes into Tesla in New Jersey. Here's what happened. It's raining fish. Hallelujah, it's raining fish. I cannot think for shit. Oh, I see. You're president/dictator, madman of Europe. I mean, I guess he saw something. I mean, he was a dictator, so he probably was able to deduce that he did not spell anything good for him. And before, I think that was because these people wanted to overthrow that regime at the time. They wanted to install a Nazi government. They had a spy operations in Memo, agitating for joining Germany, and also Lithuania was very Jewish country back then. Oh, I see. Yeah, that would make sense why he was disliked. Because, I mean, obviously, Jews, I mean, he pretty much very openly said he doesn't like Jews at all. Also, I mean, he probably viewed Lithuania as, well, as extension of the East Prussia, and probably wanted to took it for, you know, for the Teutonic Knights, Livonian Order and stuff like that. All that stuff that was before in the Middle Ages. That was took by the German Christian, Crusaders. Yes, they were Crusaders because they were crusading against the pagans there. And they were trying to pretty much exterminate the pagan origin there. Oh, luckily they did not manage to completely fulfill it, and we still have a lot of pagan people in the Baltics, which is good. In a strange accident, a fish fell from the sky and smashed into a Tesla car, which was parked in a home's driveway and belonged to a couple in New Jersey. Why am I not surprised this had happened in New Jersey? I don't know why, but every time I hear about New Jersey, it's always something weird. The fish dropped with such high force that it cracked the windshield of the car. The couple, Cynthia and Jeff Levine, stated that they heard a loud sound of a crash outside their home in Atlantic Highlands, which is a mile away from Raritan Bay, the nearest body of water, according to ABC7. Teutonic orders still exist. VOD whose sites also kind of exist, not as much, but we still have over here also we still have some reminders of the, and we have a similar orders to the whose sites, so I will not be. Oh, it's in Austria. I visit there. Pretty cool. They even have their flags there and shit. Oh, that's actually very interesting. I would expect that to be somewhere in places like Berlin, you know, Germany, not in Austria. That's definitely quite surprising. But I was. Oh. The car started honking. It went crazy honking, which we have never heard. I didn't know how to turn it off, said Cynthia, as reported by the New York Post. Well, you just press the button to turn it off. I mean, it's an electric car. Well, it probably messed up some systems or sensors. I was only once in Austria, though. I was in Vienna on the pre-Christmas market with high school. Sorry, with the high school. I mean, I enjoyed the historical landmarks. However, I did not enjoy that I had to pay to, you know, to go to toilet to pee. You know, I did not enjoy that. I had a bratwurst or whatever was that big famous sausage they sell in those markets. I asked for only ketchup. He also gave me mustard. I do not like mustard, so I did not enjoy the bratwurst much. It's in Vienna? Oh, I see. Well, then I guess I missed it. Well, we were only in small part of Vienna. Although it was an interesting experience. Although, as I said, I would probably not return there again because I do not want to pay to use, you know, toilets. That's very, very scummy. But I guess they have to pay, you know, all the damages some individuals do. So I guess I understand it from that point of view. I went out and Jeff was in the yard somewhere. He heard the crash and everything, but ignored it, she added. Imagine if aliens landed near your garage. She was like, honey, aliens have landed on our front yard. And he was like, silence. I already have a beer in my hand. If they want anything, well, they're gonna have to come tomorrow. And I know they do not speak like that there, but it's New Jersey. Everything is so expensive there too. Yep. And I would imagine it got even more expensive after it was 6 years. I was there before. Yeah, I was there in 2018. So it probably got a lot more expensive. Well, this is the case with every major capital city in Europe. Because tourist traps, basically. Tourist traps. I mean, even in my country, for a goddamn half a liter of bottled water, you pay $6 in our capital city of Prague. It's horrible. And the government does absolutely nothing to stop this. These prices are scandalous. And very exploitative, the governments should do something and regulate it, or set a maximum price and persecute those people who try to reach off, tourists. The woman said they tried to investigate the situation and discovered that the windshield of their Tesla car was broken and filled with a mess of fish scales and blood. We were like, holy crap. Look at this, said Cynthia while speaking to the outlet. So, who was the culprit that made the fish fall? I went to a random gas station and it was too expensive there for me to. So I never really bought anything in the gas stations there, but I guess it would not be that far-fetched. I mean, in our gas stations or under the oil company, I'm gonna even write it to you in the chat. You can actually get pretty banger hot dogs. Like, those hot dogs are really good. I'm gonna write this. Like, this company, like, sells some really good hot dogs. Like those hot dogs have a very good dough. Like, the dough is like something else. Like, that is probably the best dough on a hot dog I've ever seen. And even the dog, well, not quite a yeah, the gas station hot dog slap, yeah. I had a hot dog station on a gas station. So I had hot dog in gas station like last year. That was after 10 or 11 years since I last have. And I was really surprised. Like, after those 11 years, it really changed and for the better. Like, it was really good. Like, I was really surprised by how good it was. The bizarre falling of the fish was caught in the security footage of the car in which a small fish was seen falling out of the sky suddenly and crashing into the car. Earlier, the couple believed it was someone's mischief and that the fish had been hurt at the car purely out of vendetta. Is somebody after us? Wondered Jeff. However, now they have most probably found the culprit who vandalized the car. It was pretty affordable there. As long as you can find good prices, then it is pretty affordable indeed. However, there are definitely prices that are overpriced as hell. I mean, generally, I usually go to places like kebab shops, which are very affordable. Like, the prices there are very good, or to some Asian restaurants or bistros. Like, not restaurants like fancy restaurants, but like all those humble-looking bistros who usually also have good prices. I didn't go to the capital though. That's good though. That's good because like the capital is overpriced as hell. Also, there's way too many people there. Too many people. Well, it's a tourist hotspot, so what to say. So yeah, I usually buy stuff like kebab because hey, it's affordable. And if I want to be fancy, I go to that one Indian fast food shop and I get either chicken window or chicken tikka masala. Those are really extremely delicious. Like, those are like that chicken tikka masala that the fast food Indian restaurant, well, not restaurant, Indian fast food place produces in a mall is extremely delicious. It might be my top one food of all time. Like, it's unbelievable. Like, I once tried it, because I wanted to try something new, and I fell in love with it. Like, it was spectacular. However, it is very expensive, which pisses me off, because Indian food is meant to be affordable. Unfortunately, a lot of people in Czech Republic and in all places in general use any nation that is far away from them to use it as some sort of a exotic luxury dish, which it really is not. It is a delicious dish that was made to be affordable. I mean, I guess those spices cost a bit, however, that's about it. I mean, only those spices could theoretically cost a bit, however, I don't know. For me, still a bit overpriced, however, I will buy it because it slaps. Also, we have a very good pizza company or the pizza brand here. That has some really good pizza. Big British food. I mean, I read about it that there were a lot of discussions whether it is British food or Indian food, and people usually come to conclusion it is Indian food because it swaps so much, because it's good food, and it is, and British cuisine is fish and chips. So people just say, well, British made fish and chips, their northern neighbors made haggis. This is definitely Indian. Also, this brand I just typed in the chat. Yeah, this is brand that was started in Czech Republic. Was started by a man that traveled here or moved here from Kosovo. He formerly worked in some jewelry company, then decided to follow his dream and to make a pizza shop. And yeah, he makes some really good pizzas, and has since like 2018 opened up to like 13 plus locations, if not, well, probably not 30 locations. However, like his pizza is very popular and is considered one of the best. Yeah. Also because it's not like Italian pizza style pizza. Okay, we have a lot of pizza stores that make Italian style or even Napoli style pizza. This is a more unique style of pizza. It's a different style, and it's something that personally I do enjoy. I also want to try Neapolitan pizza one time. However, it is quite expensive here. It is very expensive. What's your favorite sauce to put on pizza when eating it? I actually don't really put any pizza on any sauce on pizza besides the sauces you put before you send it to the oven. There are not any topping that I particularly enjoy. On supermarket pizzas, I use ketchup. Oh yes, garlic sauce. Oh yeah, I think this brand also can give you garlic sauces in some places. I heard about that. But no, I actually never dipped pizza in garlic sauce or anything like this, like those edges. Which is kind of strange when I think about it. And I should probably try it one day. Anyways, back to the article. We also have an eagle's nest in our backyard. We think it was probably the eagle, said Cynthia. That is possible. That is possible that it was the eagle. The fish may have slipped out of his or her beak, and I mean, if you saw some video, I saw some video about some fish that was fighting for its life with one tall bird. I'm not sure what the bird name is. However, the fish was fighting for his or her life. And she won. She managed to get out after like 3 minutes struggle inside that bird's beak. They have some pretty good pizza, but every year the price rises by €1. Well, luckily over here there are no real monopolies. We have quite a bit of people that make pizza here. Even in my town I live in, like not a big town, we have like 6 different people who make pizza. Even kebab stores here make pizza, so I mean there's no real monopoly on it. However, that company I tapped in the chat that had opened up a pizza store here very recently, so I'm definitely usually going to that company to that store for pizza, because I mean it's the best pizza in the town. Even though sometimes this is the problem with the people that are working there, they sometimes burn it a little bit, which is the fault of the training, I guess. I mean, I saw how they make pizza, and they just tend to look at it. They just tend to open the oven and look at it, which is not ideal. When I'm talking about the oven, I mean the big thingy. Like not the classical thingy that the Italians use, but the more industrial thingy for pizza where it's very extra crunch. I don't mind crunch at all. However, I would say the pizza is not really crunchy. This pizza is not crunchy. It's quite fluffy, very delicious. I only have one pizza that it was crunchy. Funny enough, it was from a supermarket. However, it was really delicious. Like, I was surprised. It was wet pizza. It was not a frozen pizza. And that pizza slapped. It was quattro formaggi. The brand was Casa di Mama from Dr. Edgar, if you know. And I mean, I cooked it and then I eat it. And those edges, oh yeah, that slapped. Like, that was crunchy, delicious. Like, I ate them all and I enjoyed it. And I bought a bunch more. And from time to time, I always buy it because it is really delicious. And I mean, it's not that much expensive compared to the frozen pizza. It's only like double the price. It's like, it's 4.5 euros, I believe. Yeah, something around 4.5 euros per box. According to the locals, it is common to find birds flying with fish in their mouths. Indeed, the ravine suggests that the eagles must have dropped it. The ravines are now expected to get their car after the repairs. A message was issued by Jeff for any other birds who may target his cars. I lowered my deductibles, so if any birds are listening, please don't drop it here because I'm covered now. Jeff joked. Oh, they took it with a smile. But yeah, this is unfortunate. Hopefully they had a warranty on the car, so they would get money from the, natural accident. Especially here, when sometimes I drive we are near forested areas, but we have a wildlife near the road, so sometimes in the night give me a moment. Sorry about that. The wild boars, run out of the woods and onto the roads, and sometimes they hit a vehicle, so in the night you have to be a little bit more safer. Anyways, this was the whole article, and we can move to the next one. We're gonna be talking about Tesla dips, and I'm gonna pull out Twitter. Just in case, gonna switch the scenes. Okay, it does not show who I'm chatting with, so I'm just gonna pull out this legend here. Let's see, can we find him? Just for the laughs. I'm not sure. He seems to be posting a lot, which is okay. I'm gonna do it this way. Jim Kramer, Tesla. Yes. Okay, we have this ready. I will cut out this from the video if it makes one. And now we're gonna be talking about Tesla shares dip after lackluster earnings report. Indeed, I believe Tesla has somehow made the anticipation or the predictions from the analysts. However, the forecast for the next quarter was not as people anticipated. It was not as good, and therefore the shares has dropped by almost 12% in a single day. If you follow the Nasdaq, the US 100 or S&P 500, you might have noticed the these indexes have undergone a little bit of a correction, which is an operative word. They went down quite a bit, and yesterday, I believe, the Nasdaq 100 went down by almost 4%, which is historical red candle. That is historical red candle that has never gone down by so much in a single day. It is also a worrying sign because it could indicate that the United States economy could be in some very, very bad trouble. People say that the stock market does not necessarily resonate with the, with the work, with the actual, economy. However, that would be sort of an incorrect. These both coexist with each other, and if these stocks start to, they just start to fall down, then something in the economy is not working as it should, and it is very likely that the economy is going to face a downturn, probably even a recession, which is not good. Luckily for the Americans, at least until the end of the elections, I don't think any sort of a collapse should happen. Simply because the elections are here, and if anything should go down to shit, the Democrats are gonna order the Federal Reserve, to print money to make sure nothing collapses, because obviously they want Kamala Harris to win. And if the economy was to collapse, then I don't believe the voters would appreciate it much. So, Tesla shares fell 12% Wednesday after the electric vehicle maker's second quarter earnings fell short of expectation. The company, led by billionaire tech mogul Elon Musk, built in $25.5 million in the 3-month period between April and June, up to 2% from the same period last year. However, Tesla's net income fell 45% from the $2.7 billion in second quarter of 2023 to $1.5 billion in the second quarter of 2024, despite efforts to cut costs, including widespread layoffs. Indeed, I have read about many layoffs in the USA, and I also believe in the German Gigafactory, not quite sure. However, yeah. Obviously, the year 2023, it was kind of being, it was kind of getting obvious that the electric cars, the hype about the electric cars is sort of dying down. I mean, people are still buying electric cars. However, people simply do not have money to buy them. And that's why there are not as many purchases as there could be. People simply do not have enough money anymore. Or the average people, to be more precise. They probably already spent all of that money they saved during COVID, or during when the government was handing out free cash. They probably spent it on, repairing their houses or getting any other, assets to their households. Sorry about that. And I completely lost my thread. Well, it happens to the best of us. In April, Musk announced plans to cut more than 10% of company's global workforce. So he's trying to replicate something he did in Twitter. I don't think this will go that well in a company that actually produces things, instead of just producing toxicity on the internet. But hey, you never know. Well, with the rise of AI and the robotics, it seems likely that he will start replacing humans with robots. That's probably gonna cut some costs in the long run. We'll see. In April, Musk announced, as we prepare the company for our next phase of growth, it is extremely important to look at every aspect of the company for cost reductions and increasing productivity, he said in a memo to staff at the time. As part of this effort, we have done a thorough review of the organization and made the difficult decision to reduce our headcount by more than 10% globally, Musk added. As part of this effort, we have done yes, it says, the lackluster earnings report follows a weak performance from the EV maker in the first quarter as well. Tesla's net income was down 55% in the 3-month period between January and March. However, Tesla stock rose in the first quarter results after Musk said the company was planning to bring forward production of its smaller, more affordable models. Obviously, that is the logic decision. This is a logic decision because people simply do not have money to spend. So producing something actually affordable could boost those sales. I still think they're gonna probably not match the numbers they had in 2023 for a while. Because I still believe the US economy is going to go down the drain in the near future. But it is just my thinking, this is not a financial advice or anything. Also, what is not helping Tesla is the fact that the legend, the myth of the Wall Street market, Jim Cramer, has been talking about Tesla. Let's hear this legend's ultimate take. Let's hear his wisdom on the Tesla and its future. Breaking, Jim Cramer says Tesla stock is a buy right now. He says Tesla future is very bright. So let's hear it ourselves.
Perhaps you have to buy this week just because of the future, which seems very bright. I actually think that it makes sense, at least as a place to start buying. What matters is that you have to wait. You have to be patient. You have to be long-term oriented. Trades that are in short supply on Wall Street. As I see it, the key risk with Tesla was that Musk might leave over his pay package. Now that he's staying, I recognize that he's just better than everyone else when it comes to envisioning the future. Perhaps with the sole exception of Jensen Huang from NVIDIA, who is also, by the way, a lot more fun to hang with. Still, Musk's bankable, and the rotation out of the Magnificent Seven could give you a chance to put his genius to work for your portfolio, and it's probably right here worth taking. Perhaps you have to buy.
So there you have it. Jim Cramer had confirmed that the Tesla stock is going to tank. It's Joe for Elon. If somebody does not know who Jim Cramer is, he's basically a legend in Wall Street. He's a legend, living legend. His reputation came that whatever he says, the opposite happens. So when he says the markets are doing good, the markets crash. When he says a certain company is a good investment, the company bankrupts next month. So yeah, we got it from the legend himself. It's Joe for Elon. I'm ready to tell you that. Anyways, to the next article. I'm gonna take a sip of water and we're gonna read the climate activist article. I was hoping we would not be reading about climate activists for a while. I have published video about climate activists quite recently, about the Just Stop Oil members getting jailed for 21 years combined. Unfortunately, it seems like we're gonna be talking about these idiots again. Well, not about Just Stop Oil, but about some other idiots. My throat is starting to get very nasty. Oh, we've been talking for about 2 hours now. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna put this here, and I want to read 2 more articles after this minimum. After that, I don't know if I'm gonna read all of the articles, cause hey, it's almost 9 p.m. and I don't want to wake up anyone, so I might have to lower my voice. We'll see. Climate activists glued to runway halt flights at German airport, other protests foiled. Yep, they still glue themselves to the runways, to the roads. Obviously, you then have to destroy that part of the road, therefore you cause a monetary damage. It is messy, which then has to be repaired, which also produces CO2, by the way. It's a messy, messy business with these idiots. Sorry about that. I've been having these episodes quite a bit. Frankfurt, Germany's Bonn airport suspended flights for several hours on Wednesday after climate activists glued themselves to a runway, while similar actions at other European airports were followed by authorities. Bonn Airport, Germany's sixth largest, said it had resumed operations during the morning after halting all flights shortly before 6 a.m. The campaign group Last Generation said on Twitter that it had blocked air traffic at the airport and published pictures of several activists with their hands glued to the runway. Hopefully these activists will also get jailed one day. So yeah, this is the letzte generation or letzte generation, however you call it. Yeah, this is one of the trio. Fridays for Future, Just Stop Oil, Letzte Generation, or Generation. Idiots. Pure idiots. The group, which wants the German government to pursue a global agreement to exit oil, gas and coal by 2030, listed several countries across Europe and North America, where similar airport disruptions were planned on Wednesday. I wonder when are you gonna do such disruptions in China, for instance, or in Russia? Yeah, thought so. Authorities had separated that activist attempts to disrupt airports in London, Vienna, Oslo and Zurich had been foiled, and no magic air traffic delays were reported there. However, Letzte Generation activist Ronia Yeah, the best way to fight climate change inconveniencing random people when they glue themselves in front of private plane? Yeah, that is a very good question. That is a very good question. Especially in front of planes that belongs to the people who like to talk about, actually wanting to do something with the climate destabilization. Then the only thing they do is they do PR stunts, they talk, and nothing. Well, something changes. Then they do some nonsense like banning productions of the car on benzene or diesel. As I said, this should have been overcome by superior technology, and considering the flying cars seem to be coming in few years at this point, maybe in 6 years, if everything goes correctly, we might actually have flying cars. And from what I heard, the company that is supposed to provide 100 flying taxis to Saudi Arabia builds electric flying cars. So there you go, there's one solution to the climate problems. Like, people love flying cars. People would buy a flying car because it's fucking cool. And I want to buy a flying car. Or making you pay 1 cent for plastic bags. I think something like this might be implemented in my country as well. But when you order food here, you always have to pay some. Well, that's not. That's actually not related to the article. Anyhow, however, yes, in my country you also have to pay for plastic bags when you are shopping. However, I think that's normal. Or ruining bottle caps. Oh, ruining bottle caps. Well, I mean, that's their problem. That's their fault, though. That's their fault for introducing those new bottle caps that are very stupid. Like, I'm not sure if I was ranting to you or somebody other about them. However, I said that those bottle caps are arguably even more dangerous to both animals and small kids. Because if the kids just, tear those bottle caps out and they consume those small pieces that are on the would be worse than points. I mean, if they're electric, then they cannot really be that worse than points. People are arguing that they would be dangerous. However, I say that there is going to be a lot of technology that is going to prevent any sort of a 9/11 stunt. Like, AI is going to be very prevalent. And actually, even the newest car models are said to be able to stop your car forcefully if you are doing something illegal. Yep. If you are going over the speed limit, I heard that some cars are able to stop. They are able to stop a car if it goes over the limit. They make it harder to close the bottle again. Yes, and it's very annoying to drink from it. You look quite a bit silly. However, last generation activist Ronia Quenquer, I think I pronounced it correctly, or Quenquer maybe, told media after the Cologne protest that it was just the beginning. Over the next few weeks, we'll repeat this in Germany, Europe, and around the world. So when the prison sentences are going to start rolling out? She declined to say whether the Paris Olympics starting on Friday could be targeted. British police said in a post on Twitter they had arrested 9 members of the climate action group Just Stop Oil for conspiring to disrupt Heathrow Airport, one of the world's busiest. In Switzerland, 3 anti-oil demonstrators were detained after blocking a road to Zurich Airport, police said. Footage broadcast on Swiss media showed a man gluing his hand to the road, sitting beside 2 other protesters holding banners. Vienna Airport said 4 protesters had spilled paint in a check-in area, but police had intervened quickly to prevent further disruption. Now, it would just be worse for the environment, like a bus is better than a car, for example. I guess I can understand. Well, yeah, I guess I can understand it. I mean, you mean it from the perspective that the production of the car is highly unecological. Like, building an electric car is a ecological nightmare, kind of, if nothing changed. So, I mean, building such car is quite expensive in terms of CO2, then using it is not that bad. However, when you would have to replace the batteries, then once again you would basically be buying, CO2. I mean, I usually also use buses. I don't have a driver's license just yet, although I'm gonna get driver's license because you need driver's license for work, because people simply do not understand that you can get to the work with bus. and it annoys me very much. I'm also gonna get a gun license, hopefully this year. Maybe I'll get the gun license before the driver's license, because the driver license semester is going to start in September. So I may be able to sneak in the gun license. That depends how well I can operate guns, and just how well would I be able to prepare for the written tests and for shooting tests. Well, I was talking that the cars that are being produced are electric already. That they use electricity, not like any fuel like oil or anything like that. So they would be theoretically, I think from what I understood, that they would be charged by electricity, just like Tesla. However, they would be able to fly, from what I understood. Now where was I? In Norway, 3 activists were apprehended after cutting a hole in a fence and briefly making it onto runway at Oslo Airport, police said. Helsinki's Vantaa Airport said a demonstration by climate activists has had no impact on passengers or operations. It's a Reuters article, so it is unfortunately short. Although, honestly, I do not mind, so I'm not going to have to make a video out of this, because I mean, this is very annoying to talk about the climate activists too much. Well, yeah, we use fossil fuels, however, that is the fault of the Germans and nations like Germany who so vehemently refuse to use the nuclear energy. Then they burn coal and other, fossil fuels to produce energy. I mean, that's on nations like Germany. Like, Germany has very much contributed to the reason why the nuclear power plants are so damn expensive. Germany and other such nations as Austria, who are so much anti-nuclear energy, even though the nuclear energy is pretty damn safe. It's pretty safe, and it also produces a lot of energy. And we could, as I said earlier, we could use the nuclear energy as a stepping point. We would be using nuclear energy for a few decades, for a few more decades, and let's say in year 2060 we would be able to produce enough fusion energy, so we would be able to sustain our fusion energy generators. Because fusion energy has also made quite a bit of progress since 90s and early 2000s. We used to have a nuclear power plant, but EU made us close it. Yeah, screw the EU on this. Yep, I mean, my country has 2 nuclear power plants, however, unfortunately, this is very dumb. We produce the electricity, we produce the energy. However, we export it to the European market first. Then we buy it off the European market, which basically makes the energy much more expensive than it could be, theoretically. So basically we are shooting ourselves in the foot for no reason. And I'm so fucking mad at the government or at whoever runs the energy companies for doing something like this. It was unsafe. You mean the fusion energy or the nuclear energy? I mean, the nuclear energy is safe. I mean, the only risks are, well, we only have Chernobyl, but Chernobyl, that was Soviet Union. And a lot of people in Soviet Union got into places where they had no business being in the first place. Like the corruption was that was on another level, even though the West is also corrupted, but the corruption in the Soviet Union, I mean, yeah. It was built by the USSR with the old Chernobyl studies, and okay, so I could understand why probably EU did not like it much. However, I would expect you could theoretically, modernize it, with some new plans. But that would probably also cost a lot. Okay, we have 2 more articles at least. I want to read at least these 2 articles, and then I'm gonna decide whether I'm gonna cut this or not. This is a very good one. Again, well, this is another scientific one, but I have so many videos that are going about science that are coming onto the YouTube channel. I'm gonna actually show it. Yes, we got Dr. Disrespect. We got a video about moon base. We got a video about dark oxygen. Yes, you hear correct. The dark oxygen, or the rocks on the bottom of oceans actually produce oxygen. That is a very fascinating fact. Then we got a video about climate change, so another science article. And today I'm going to be releasing the growing cases of AI being used to make deepfake explicit videos of children. Hopefully this one video does well, because people should definitely know more about this. I'm still kinda sad that my about almost 40-minute video about the children, like one of my first videos, really never took off, because like it was very good video in my opinion, and I delve into some really dark reality of the 21st century. Yes. I mean, well, Ava or Chris, well, is going to be joining Doctor. Jesus, this video, I'm not sure. No, you cannot see it, but I'm gonna make you see it. Yes, you can see now. This video about Kamala Harris, this video got recommended to Republicans. So I was talking that Kamala Harris has a chance to defeat Donald Trump. Well, this video got recommended exclusively to the MAGA Republicans, it seems like. And yeah, the worst performing video by far. 9 dislikes. My second most disliked video has 5. And those are 2 videos, one on the AOC and the first ever video. It has the most comments. Most of the comments were stable, and I only have to remove and ban one person. However, I'm still very angry about this. I'm still very mad about this. Somebody actually liked it then. One like is from my VODs account. However, well, it is what it is. Yeah, then the other videos, but dead on arrival. These videos have never left the YouTube prison. It was never released to the public. Like, no actual, how do you call it? No impressions. No impressions. Like, this video got 300 impressions, so it's getting off the ground. So I'm very happy about it, and a good click to rate. But these videos have no impressions, although I feel like they are quite actually interesting. So yeah, I'm a bit angry about that, but hey, it is what it is. I'm gonna go now and read the article. Enough of ranting for now. We still have 2 more articles to go, minimum. China finds traces of water in moon samples. Scientists from the Asian giant have revealed the presence of traces of water on the moon, another step in the domination of space conquest by the Asian giant. This is also kind of a huge news. China continues its space conquest. Samples of lunar soil brought back by the China's Chang'e 5 space mission in 2020 contains traces of water, researchers said in a study published in a scientific journal. Fuck. My throat is dying. Okay, deep breaths, deep breaths. Examination of the samples revealed the presence of the presence of traces of water. The group scientists from Chinese universities wrote in the study published Monday in the English language journal Nature Astronomy. The samples suggest that water molecules may persist in the sunlit regions of the moon as hydrated salts. As they point out, Chang'e 5 was already the first space mission in several decades to successfully return lunar samples to Earth, and it reflects the scientific interest of China's ambitious space program, which aims in particular to send a manned mission to moon by 2030. Obviously, China wants to up their space program quite a bit, because again, the space is the next step in the human evolution and also in human warfare. So the better technology you're gonna have for terroring the planets, the better technology you're gonna have for shooting down satellites on the orbit. I'm actually gonna Google it. I mean, I wouldn't say it's necessarily the budget, because you have to also realize that India is running a much tinier budget than NASA. However, it still managed to do some impressive feats. 2.6 billion. Wow, that's actually... Okay, that's 2020. 2024. 24 or 25 billion. Okay. What about India? Space budget. Uh... 2 USD. What? That must be... Oh, then this is allocation. Wait, what? So... no, that must be... Oh yeah, 1.5 billion, okay. So the Indian budget is almost 24 times smaller than the NASA's. How about... Russia space budget? Or Rosmoscos, I should probably... $3.4 billion USD, that's 2018. About 4 billion. So I mean, NASA still has the biggest budget. However, it should probably get a bigger budget, considering just how much the inflation been going on in the US. I mean, the US can afford to give like 25 extra billions to the NASA, honestly. I mean, it's not like that. It's not like that the US really needs to worry much about the debt. And this page is not going to load up again. Oh, it's actually load up. Yeah, I mean, I don't think the US needs to worry about their debt really that much at this point. So they might as well, you know, they might as well go big in the space while they can. Ooh, this is such a depressing page to look at, because you know, one day this is going to go to hell, and the entire world is going to burn. One day this is going to explode, go to shit, and everyone on this planet is going to suffer. Well, No. Translate. An infrared detector from the US space agent. Fuck, I have something in my nose. An infrared detector from the US space agency NASA had already confirmed the existence of water on on the moon in 2020. Scientists have also found traces of water in recent analysis of samples dating from 1960s and 1970s, but Chenga samples come from a much higher latitude, thus providing new clues about the form of that water takes on the moon's surface, the Chinese scientists write. A manned mission by 2030, China has significantly expanded its space program over the past 30 years, pouring billions of euros into the sector in order to catch up with the Americans, Russians, and European leaders. Last month, another Chinese probe, Chang'e 6, brought back to the Earth the first samples ever brought back from the far side of the moon. Yes, I believe we read about that actually. In 2019, the Asian giant landed a spacecraft, the Chang'e 4 probe, on the far side of the moon, a world's first. In 2021, China landed a small robot on Mars. The country hopes to launch its first manned mission to the moon by 2030. It also plans to build a lunar base. Some exciting things to look forward to, that's for sure. Hopefully these exciting things are going to come sooner than the nuclear Armageddon that seems to be nearing upon us. I dread even thinking about this. Don't mess it up. Like, this is the best chance we're gonna get to actually becoming an interstellar race. If we nuke ourselves to the ground, I think there's a good chance that we could face extinction. Yeah, we could face extinction. And not quite literal extinction, but extinction in terms of potential. Like, we would be turned into a Fallout. Yeah, we would be turned into Todd Howard's game. And that's not something we want to be in. So yeah, this was a short article. I wanted to read this. Unfortunately, it was really short, so I'm a bit sad, but it is what it is. The next article, I'm gonna make it the final. No, I'm gonna make it the second final article. Sorry about that. After that, we're gonna end the stream. We'll have the final article is going to be about Trump and Kamala Harris. The next article is going to be about Unabomber or Unabomber. The Spanish edition, but without S. So Spanish pensioner gets 18 years for letter bomb campaign. Oh yes. The Unabomber Spain edition without S. A 76-year-old retired Spanish civil servant who sent 6 letters containing explosive in 2022 in a bid to stop Madrid supplying arms to Ukraine has been given an 18-year jail term. Pompeo González Pascal was detained in the northern town of Miranda de Ebro in January last year. I'm gonna sneeze, so give me a moment. Should be a bit better. Spain stopped Spain's top criminal court, the Audiencia Nacional, found him guilty of sending devices to Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez, whose wife seems to be embroiled in some corruption scandals, the US and Ukrainian ambassadors, Spanish Defense Minister Margarita Rebos' arms company in Zaragoza, and the EU satellite center near Madrid. He was handed a 10-year term for terrorism and further 8 years for preparing and placing explosive for terrorist purposes. A Ukrainian embassy employee was rightly wounded by one of the devices, while the other 5 were dealt with by security services in November and December 2022. Gonzalez denied the charges against him, but the judges said there had been shown considerable evidence confirming his guilt. All the components for his sweater bombs had been bought online, the court had, and the devices were sent in wooden boxes with identical packaging and labels. So he was an amateur, obviously. Police had also observed him disposing of various metallic fragments and matches in the days before his arrest. So yeah, complete amateur, not really surprising. Some of the matches had the phosphorus scraped off, and the chemicals was used as part of the explosive for some of the devices. The court had DNA evidence from the stamps and envelopes was also found matching the profile of the accused. Analysis of his phone and computer indicated he had visited the Prime Minister's and Defense Minister websites and had conducted internet searches on the risk of jail terms for the elder as well as Russian and the requirements for foreigners. So he was very sussy. Obviously, I'm not going to give you a tutorial on how to be a successful terrorist. That you would be asking too much from me, and I live in EU, therefore I would get quite a bit spanked by the EU for actually saying this too. However, you should probably use your brain, and by that I don't mean use your brain in planning this. I mean use your brains about 20 times more intenser than you would normally use your brain. Basically, think, like, if you're gonna search for such stuff, obviously you're gonna get caught. Like, this guy was extremely sussy. So, I mean, fortunately he was sussy, I should add. Like, and luckily nobody died. Well, you can always donate to me. That's a bait, I don't have a donate button. Neither the sub button. So yeah, I cannot provide you instructions on how to be a successful terrorist. And I shall never provide you any sort of tips on how to become one in any sort of future. Absolutely, I adhere to the law, most definitely, completely. Oh. Okay, that is. Okay, that is. Okay, that is. Okay, I'm screenshot this. I'm gonna screenshot this. Okay, I did not expect somebody would ask such a question. Okay. Give me a moment. I'm just gonna send this to somebody. Oh my god, okay, this. Okay. Okay. Okay, just give me a moment. Okay, I'm back. I was just chatting with my friend on Messenger about this with the incident. Uh, okay, I did not expect that somebody could use it in such context. Well, okay, I'm definitely, if I'm ever gonna have a custom banner on my YouTube channel, this is going to feature on this. Two Russian state media apps were found on his mobile phone, which were at the time difficult to access Spain because of an EU ban on disinformation from the Russian state. Spain's socialist prime minister promised to provide Ukraine with support for as long as it takes, including €1 billion of military aid in 2024. No. Madrid has sent Leopard tanks and anti-aircraft missiles, although in real terms it lags behind other EU countries. The court said Gonzalez has sought to cause a great commotion in the Spanish society that would exert pressure so the governments of Spain and the US and other entities based on Spanish territory would stop supporting Ukraine. The explosives used have been sufficient to cause injuries of varying severity both in the blast and the shrapnel that Gonzalez has added to the other bombs the court had. Okay, this is the article. Okay. So I did not expect it. This had a very interesting twist. I believe this thing will not be able to see the reply from Steam Elements, however I screenshotted it. And if I'm gonna make a video about this, which maybe I will, I'm definitely gonna feature that little screenshot there. Okay, that's... Okay, I definitely did not expect that something like this would happen when I was making that command. But hey. We're gonna head to the final article. This is our last article, and after that we're done. We're gonna end this thing. We've been up for almost 3 hours now. We've been talking for almost 3 hours, so pretty good stream. And it was definitely the funnest stream I had. That's for sure. Trump says he'll debate Harris. Trump said he would debate Harris regardless of whether it was on ABC. Oh, at least he's gonna debate her, unlike he debated, or he did not debate Nikki Haley, which was quite funny. I mean, he really did not debate with other people, which probably was better for him to not debate and let the presidential candidates just debate among each other, because simply all of them would be arguing between each other, and that would make them weak, and that would also kind of be sort of a point for the Trump voters to simply stick with them, because they would be seen as these incompetent people that are just complaining about everything, or they are just arguing about everything. So, I mean, in a sense, it was a sort of a strategic decision. On the other hand, kind of a dick move, not gonna lie. Former President Donald Trump on Tuesday committed to debating Vice President Kamala Harris and said he would be willing to face off against her more than once. Oh, okay, I'm definitely interested. Oh yeah, I want 2 debates. I definitely want 2 debates at least. Yep, that's a good point. That's a very good point. Yeah, Joe dropped out. Whether it was willingly or not, we probably won't know for a bit. And something is on my window. Okay, it's not a spider, so it's alright. But yeah, I like it too that they just turn it around. And obviously, I mean, he's 78 years old. However, 81 million people gave their votes to the 77 years old Biden. So, I mean, they really have no right to complain about this or even use this as an argument. So there are many arguments about Donald that couldn't be used. Or more specifically, not about Donald, more about the Republican Party and the people that are inside the Republican Party, or they align themselves to the Republican Party, like the people who made the Project 2025, for example. I still am not sure how I should handle this. I'm probably gonna do sort of a recap streams, and I'm just gonna read the Project 2025 beforehand, and then I'm just gonna talk about it, because I would want to read you the stuff that the Project 2025 focus on the military. When it focused on the military stuff, I was very angry with that. I thought it was very stupid, and it was made by somebody who clearly did not serve in military or served like a year or two, to be able to just say, oh yeah, I served in the army. Yeah, for like 2 years, but whatever. The next debate, which is scheduled for September 10th, is to be hosted by ABC News. Trump in recent days has pushed for a more conservative Fox News to hold the debate, calling ABC a joke. Well, as he said, they can have one debate on ABC and other debate on Fox News. And it would be, it would be fair if it was handed over to some non-partisan news, news media. However, I'm not sure what non-partisan media are there out in US, because the first one was CNN, and honestly, I felt like the CNN was pretty good actually. Like the CNN did a good job in the debate. Like the debate was much better than the last debate that Trump and Biden had their first debate, and that kind of famous "Will you shut up, man?" They definitely handled the debate quite well. Also, both of them are pretty much grandpas. One was in his 80s and the other one was in late 70s, so I guess they simply do not have that much energy anymore. But during a conference call with the reporters on Tuesday's afternoon, Trump said he would debate Harris regardless of whether it was on ABC, and said he would be willing to do more than one debate actually. Oh yeah, go for it. I want to see at least 2 debates. While Trump said he was not thrilled with ABC, which he said he watched on Monday and had concluded was favorable to President Joe Biden and Harris, he said, debating is more important for presidential race. I think if you are a Democrat nominee or the Republican nominee, you really have an obligation to debate, Trump said. So why did he not debate that much on his presidential primaries? Well, yeah, let's not talk about it. Harris' campaign did not immediately respond to a request for comment. I think she will probably agree, maybe, who knows. I think she will agree because he pretty much launched that initiative first, and the Harris campaign does not want her to be seen as weak. They want her to be seen as somebody who's confident enough to debate him more than once. And if she would refuse, then they could use it as an ammunition against her, that she is scared to debate with them because she is a bad debater, or she's bad at giving speeches, which, I watched one of her speeches when she was vice president, and it was not really thrilling. It was not really exciting, so we'll see just how much she managed to turn around. Regardless, it should be a very interesting campaign. Very interesting last 4 months. Trump and Biden in May agreed to 2 debates, one on June 27 hosted by CNN and another on September 10, to be televised by ABC. Biden's disastrous performance in the June debate ultimately led top Democrats to wage a weeks-long and ultimately successful campaign to pressure him to leave the race. We still do not know if he actually was conscious of him leaving the race, and we are kind of not really sure that he is even alive, to be honest. Well, I think he is alive, however, his, let's say, performance does not seem to be very human-like. It's more like zombie-like. Because I think I saw him going off a plane, and he definitely seemed very disoriented. Trump said he believed Harris would be easier to defeat than Biden because he was slightly more mainstream, but not much. No, that's no. That's a very bad assessment here. Harris might have not been on the spotlight much, but the Democrats, she's a woman, and she's a woman of many she's a woman of Indian culture, as well as some other culture, and she will be made mainstream overnight. Even now I saw some polls that she's already gaining. Polls are not reliable, by the way, however, she seems to be performing better than Biden, which again, it's not surprising considering Biden now. Joe, it was Joe for Joe. Still on Tuesday afternoon, the Trump campaign released a memo from pollster Tony Fabrizio in which he argued that Harris would see a polling bump that would temporarily put her ahead of Trump in survey. Given that what has happened over the past couple of days and her impending VP choice, there is no question that Harris will get her bump earlier than the Democrat convention, Fabrizio wrote, and that bump is likely to start showing itself over the next few days and will last a while until the race settles down. Also, the VP for Harris is going to be extremely important. I heard that they were considering Buttigieg, or however you pronounce it, Buttigieg, basically a game minister or whatever he was, a former candidate for president. Most people probably don't even know he's gay, from what I heard. However, again, he's gay, she's a woman of color. That is probably something that the average white American will have a hard time stomaching, so I don't think she should pick him. She should probably pick somebody who's white and male preferably, because she has a lot of enthusiasm from young people and from women, obviously, and she needs somebody white. Yeah, that's it. Like, she needs somebody white as her VP to start, getting those white voters as well. As I said, I think the JD Vance is a very weak vice president, and besides his age, he really adds nothing. Isn't Trump from New York? Yes, he has his hotel in New York, and I think he pays taxes in New York. He's POC too. I'm not sure what that means. I mean, someone like Vivek Ramaswamy would be pretty interesting choice. However, I understand why he would not pick him, because his surname sounds something like a satanic ritual, and a lot of people a lot of hard writers would probably not really like him. Although, from strategic perspective, he would probably attract a lot of voters because, hey, he's young and he's Indian, so a lot of people who migrated to the US would feel more connected to him, even though everyone from the USA is an immigrant, besides the Native Americans, which live in reservations mostly. The Trump campaign's conference call was focused on immigration and issue the former president's plans to make centerpiece of his attacks against Harris. The call took place while Harris held her first campaign rally, which took place near Milwaukee, which hosted last week's Republican National Convention. By the way, I'm not sure if you heard about it, but however, allegedly there was a guy that was going to the Republican convention with a AK-47. I'm not sure if you heard about it. I might be able to find it for the video. Hopefully I'll be able to. However, yes, somebody with AK-47 had allegedly was making way to the Republican convention, but he was stopped and arrested at the checkpoint. It was a illegal weapon from what I understand. But yeah, that was also very... Well, it was very surprising, and days after that assassination attempt, we had another one. Yeah, like this year is really, really... Yeah, it's on the edge. They took his gun, shake my hand. Well, he was shaking a lot, so I mean, it probably did not took much. It really seemed like that the guy really, I don't know, he was probably sort of radicalized, but he still had consciousness, and something in him was really pushing him to probably not do it. Who knows? Or something inside his body was really pushing him to not do this. So, well, it wasn't his gun, from what I understood. It was a illegally held gun. So, yeah. They took his gun and crashed Grinder. Hmm. I mean, yeah, I don't understand that too. I mean, do they not know they can simply, save and then load the save if something goes wrong? Really? Oh, this is it. This is the entire article. Very short article. I was expecting something larger, and there's no comment section on Politico, which is a little bit disappointing. But it is what it is. So, if Trump wants more than one debate, I'm all for it. Like, I would definitely want to see more than one debate, because once again, I have not heard her speak or make any speeches in a long while. So I would definitely like to see just how much she developed, or if she is as bad as she used to be. So besides, I think it's going to be really fun though. It's going to be really fun. Did you see the Republican National Convention crashing Grindr because there were too many users? No. I actually don't even know what Grindr is. I heard that name before, however, I never used it. Oh, I see. Okay, let me check it. Grindr. The world's largest social networking app for LGBTQ. Lol. Oh, that's a gay dating app. I see. Oh, that's why I never heard about it. I mean, to be honest, like I never used any dating app to begin with, so I only know about Tinder, and yeah, that's about it. Then you got Craigslist. However, that only exists in GTA 4. I don't think you can arrange dates in Craigslist in real life. Maybe you can. Maybe maybe you can. But I mean, I know that I only arranged date to Craigslist in GTA 4. What? Who was that? I think it was the blonde girl, the Alexa or Alexis. No, Alex. Yeah, Alex. Alexander. Yeah, the rich girl. Yeah, and if you would max out her affection, then you would get you could buy something for free, I believe, in in the expensive shop. So you could buy a suit for free. Although by the time you probably found her, you would have already completed the game, and you would have ripped the Liberty City Bank. But I digress. I digress a lot. So yeah, I want to see two debates. Definitely, I think it's going to be a great fun. I think it's probably going to generate a lot of memes. Hopefully, we'll see. And I hope there's not going to be any more assassination attempts or any more shootings or like that regarding this election. Because if any of these candidates were actually to perish, then I don't think the America would survive this. I don't think the America, or if the America would survive it, then the things would get even more heated until something would simply break. Like the America is really, but really on the edge. And it's from the most petty reasons. Like, I mean, I would understand if it were like some deep cultural reasons. However, it is not. It's simply such basic fucking issues like gender or like what else? What else is there besides gender? I mean, woke ideology, I guess. And that's about it. I really don't know like what else the Americans could be so divided about. The wealth inequality, obviously. Public libraries. That might be true. I never actually, I don't know how the US public libraries look like, although considering the I mean no, actually no. No, I only watched Simpsons though, and that was from like 90s, so the public libraries in Simpsons were very quiet. In Springfield, books with more than one mummy. Oh. I see. I mean, for me, like, it's... I don't know, I simply cannot still understand it. Like, why would they be so, divided over this? I understand some people do not like when you force it down their throats. However, it simply does not feel like something you should be divided about so much, like something you should be, vilifying the other party to the point of evil, to the point of absolute evil. The richer banning books in the US. Yep. Actually, heard about it. I heard about it. I'm not sure if both sides does it. I heard about the Republicans doing it. The Republicans banning the progressive books. I should say that I am all against banning books, and more importantly, I am very much against burning books. And if I see people burning books, oh yeah, I am in DEFCON 1 mode. Don't you ever fucking dare to burn books. So I don't know if Democrats ban books. I think probably yes, maybe. I don't know. That is only an assumption. Like, I don't know. Like, I would have to research it, and I simply cannot bother myself because, hey, I'm a European. Like, why should I invest so much into the US politics? Like, it doesn't make any sense. I already have European Union to be depressed about. Recycling. No. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, recycling books into warmth. Yeah, I think the Germans in 30s also were warming themselves a bit. The 30s were quite cold, the depression. So Germans needed to warm themselves up, but I am prolonging the stream. I am going to end this now, so we've been talking for about more than 3 hours, I think. Or about 3 hours, so I'm very happy. I hope you enjoyed the stream. I definitely did. This was by far the most fun I had on any stream. That YouTube tutorial for terrorism killed me. So I hope you enjoyed. And yeah, I'm gonna keep the stream running for another minute, and afterwards I'm gonna end it because Twitch sometimes cuts out the ending of the stream, so I leave 1 minute here to make sure the Twitch does not cut anything out, I said. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and goodbye.